Hi everyone, this is Cindy with Creating with a Heart, and thank you for joining me on Celebrate Friday the Disney Edition. And today's card will be using this Cheshire cat from the Disney Classics Cricut Cartridge. It's cut at 4 inches. My suggestion always when using these cartridges is cut them as big as you possibly can, and let your cartridge, your cut be the star of the show. I will tell you that there were problems with cutting this, one of which is that every little piece that you see here is cut individually. I mean, it's one layer, but each piece is cut separately. So you actually have to peel each piece off, put it on, peel the next one off the next color, and layer it yourself. It was very time consuming. I had a few issues making everything line up correctly. So this one was definitely a challenge. And I take my own advice that I give in my tips video on cutting Disney cartridges, and that is I use glitter glue to kind of cover up some of my issues. You can see for my eyes as well as for some of the pink layers, it just kind of helps him look a little bit better. I'm using the Mind's Eye, a Happy Heart. Not my favorite paper stack, but I will tell you that it worked really well for this card. I kind of wanted something groovy, so this kind of worked for that. You know, kind of has a groovy look. And so my card base is an A2 card, it's 5.5 by 4 1/4. And I'm using Regal Rose from Steppin' Up, also at 5.5 and 4 1/4. With this is the paper that I chose for my Happy Heart, and it is 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to go ahead and let's see what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to hear part of it. Okay, and then I cut this kind of funky, which is actually the opposite side. So this is cut at about 1.5 by 5 1/4. And I use my scallop punch. And I'm going to adhere some of my pieces because I'm going to adhere my ribbon before I put my image on. And remember that when you have double-sided paper, the back side is always probably the best complementary side. Not always, but usually. And like that. This is white grosgrain ribbon from my stash. I had bought like a ton of ribbon from somewhere. Could be really reasonable ribbon. Could have been from somebody online. I don't know. It's been so long. And I've been kind of working through it. So, and sometimes it's just handy. So, this worked out for me. Okay, and then I'm just going to adhere all the other pieces on here. And I kept my card itself very, very simple. This was a more challenging cut than I would say Thumper was easier than the Cheshire Cat. It just, you had to cut every single one of those little pieces out. Oh, well, I hear them, and it was rough. So here is my cut. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead, it's also on this foam tape. I like to put all my cuts on foam tape. It just, I mean, if you're going to cut this out, chances are this is going to be the star of the show, so it should pop. So I like to put my cuts on the foam tape. And I'm going to put that right there. Okay, so right there. And then I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to my base. Okay, kind of fix some of the glue that kind of pops out when you use your ATG gun. Okay, so there's that. And then I'm going to actually tie some ribbon right here. I kept it simple, but I added a few touches. And tie off my, or use my scissors to get my excess here. I'll make these a little bit more. Okay, thanks. Issues with my ribbon. Sorry, I'm gonna get this out of view here. Okay. There we go. We're in the money here. Okay, there's my ribbon. There's my card so far. And the last bit that I have for my card, this is a quick one, is the sentiment. And the sentiment is, I love your grin. And this comes from Animated Greetings, Pink by Design. And it's just perfect. It is, where is it here? I love your grin is right here. So it's just perfect. It's Pink by Design, Animated Greetings. And then I took 3 little pieces of bling that I had in my stash, and I mounted this on, it was mounted on rose red cardstock. It was stamped with rose red. And then it's all on scrap, so I just digged through my scrap pile, found a good color, because my Cheshire cat is cut in Regal Rose, a light pink, this rose red color, a yellow, and white. And then I just try and make sure that I match up my colors as much as possible in my card, in the pieces that I use to mount it on for my sentiment, and just kind of tie all my pieces together. And then this is just going to fit right up here. And here is my card for the day. Super easy, super simple card design, because it was a pain in the neck to cut out my little Cheshire cat. But I'm glad I did. It turned out really, really cute. And thank you very much for watching today. And again, I'm Cindy from Creating with the Heart.